Hello students, very good morning. Okay, so in previous class you studied about the concepts of principles of inheritance, isn't it? So in the previous chapter, so where you studied about the Mendel's laws of inheritance, then factors, then chromosomal theory of inheritance, so then experiments of T.H. Morgan and linkage and crossing over, isn't it? So and also the genetic disorders, the Mendelian disorders or the chromosomal aberrations like Klinefelter syndrome, Down syndrome, as well as the Turner syndrome, like that. Okay, so in that you studied about the principles of inheritance. It means what are the principles which are found behind the inheritance. You know what is inheritance? Inheritance is nothing but the transfer of characters, isn't it? From parents to offsprings or parents to progeny or from one generation to another generation. So where the principles involved in that you studied in that chapter. That's why it is named as principles of inheritance. How genes are transferring, how they are assorted independently, how they are causing the dominancy or the recessive genes. Okay, so like that you studied in that chapter. So in pertaining to that or in related to that, the next chapter is molecular basis of inheritance in the same unit. Okay, so in this you are going to study about what is the molecular basis for this. What is the basis for inheritance? How character is expressed? What is the main reason that is behind expressing a character? What the factor that is controlling the expression of a character? Okay, so that you are going to study about the chemical behavior or the chemical structure or molecular structure of the molecule that is found inside in controlling the character. That is the chapter molecular basis for inheritance or molecular basis of inheritance. In that you studied principles of inheritance. In that you are going to study about molecular basis for inheritance. What is the basis at the molecular level? It means at the gene level, at the DNA level, or at the chromosome level. What is the basis, main basis for inheritance? So in this you are completely in detail you are going to study about the chemical constituents of DNA and RNA, as well as the synthesis of proteins, then DNA replication and other things you are going to study in this chapter. So that is under the heading of molecular basis of inheritance. So this is a very major chapter as far as your examination is concerned. Okay, and this will be asked for 10 marks. This will be for 10 marks in the examination. Either 2 questions are asked in 5 marks part. So either 2 questions for 5 marks. So then it will be 10, or sometimes so 2 marks for 3 marks, then also for 5 marks it is asked. But chapter is totally for 10 marks. So in this unit you have 3 chapters. One is principles of inheritance, that is already over. Then molecular basis of inheritance, and the next thing is evolution. So by the 3 chapters you will get 25 marks in this unit, especially in the second unit. So let us begin with the chapter molecular basis of inheritance. So remember, this is very important for your examination is concerned. Okay, see, in this chapter you are mainly going to study what is the molecule involved behind the inheritance. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇರೋಂಥ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಮೇಜರ್ಲಿ ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್ ದ DNA, you studied about or you heard about DNA and RNA, means the nucleic acids which are found. Okay, so you heard the molecules like DNA and RNA, isn't it? That is deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid. See, among this, DNA is one of the macromolecule. This is one of the macromolecule that is found in all living organisms. Whether it is a prokaryote or eukaryote, irrespective of the nature of the organism. So these 2 molecules which are found in all living organisms. Okay, so there are viruses, you know that there are some viruses which contain DNA as genetic material, and some of them they contain RNA as genetic material. But besides that, except the RNA viruses, all other living organisms where the genetic material is considered as DNA. You know what is a genetic material? That is nothing but the material responsible for transmission of characters or inheritance of characters from parents to progeny or from one generation to another generation. That is mainly controls the character, isn't it? That is considered as a genetic material. So the major genetic material is nothing but DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. See, this is one of the macromolecule which is found in all living cells. Andre ella cells allu iranta largest molecule, means its density, its length. So that is also more when compared to other molecules like proteins or other molecules which are found inside the cell. So DNA is one of the macromolecule. It is a macromolecule found in all living cell. Macromolecule. is found in all living cells, whether they are prokaryotes or they are eukaryotes. The prokaryotes are agili, eukaryotes are agili, both of them they consist of DNA. Then what is the difference between this? That is the DNA found in prokaryotes as well as in eukaryotes. See, in prokaryotes you know that the DNA found naked inside the cytoplasm. So where there is a presence of a naked DNA molecule, that is found within the cytoplasm, isn't it? So where the DNA lies naked inside the cytoplasm in case of prokaryotes, whereas in case of eukaryotes, the DNA is found within the nucleus, isn't it? The DNA that is found within the nucleus in case of eukaryotes, where it is surrounded by the nuclear membrane. Not only the nucleus that shows a DNA in eukaryotes, where the DNA also seen in cell organelles like mitochondria and chloroplast. So they are the only two cell organelles which possess DNA. So that's why they show autonomous replication. So where the cell organelles that show DNA, that is mitochondria and chloroplast. So these are the two cell organelles they show DNA. Then because of that they show autonomous multiplication or autonomous replication. Okay. So in KCET exam also the question has asked, so which among the following cell organelle that shows DNA? So the option has given like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, then lysosomes and mitochondria. So the option is mitochondria as well as the chloroplast, they show DNA. Okay, so they are the cell organelles that process DNA. But whereas in eukaryotes, the DNA, the major genetic material restricted to nucleus where it is surrounded by nuclear membrane. So whereas in prokaryotes, the DNA is naked and that lies naked in the cytoplasm. That is what is called as a nucleoid, isn't it? See, when we move to the discovery about this, about the discovery of the nucleic acid. Okay, see, the nucleic acid was first reported by Friedrich Miescher. Okay, Friedrich Miescher, who first reported the nucleic acid, who first isolated the nucleic acid from the pus cells. You know what is pus? Who first isolated the nucleic acid from the pus cells. So where he coined the term nuclein for that material. Where he coined the term nuclein for that material. Our material ge Miescher in Martin. This has asked for 1 mark. Who identified or who discovered nucleic acid? Okay. So where the nucleic acid was first isolated from, discovered and isolated from by Friedrich Miescher. Okay, it was isolated by Friedrich Miescher from pus cells, where he coined the term nuclein for that. Adike nuclein anna name na coin martane. So later on, Altmann, and another scientist who is known as Altmann, who gave the name nucleic acid for this. Who gave the name nucleic acid for this. Idike nucleic acid anta Altmann en martane name kottane. He gave the name nucleic acid for this. It is mainly named as nucleic acid. That is mainly because of the presence of acidic nature in this. That is because of the presence of acidic nature. Nucleic acid. If you split the term, nucleic means nucleus. It is restricted to nucleus in eukaryotes, but it is found in the cytoplasm, whereas in case of prokaryotes, it is nucleic acid mainly because of its acidic nature, where a presence of phosphoric acid group in them or in this molecule, hence it is named as nucleic acid. Because of the acidic nature of this macromolecule, Altmann coined the term nucleic acid. So whereas it was first isolated by Friedrich Miescher, he coined the term nuclein for its. Nuclein, the term coined by Friedrich Miescher. Altmann, who gave the name nucleic acid because of its acidic nature. Which acid is found or acidic group is found in DNA? That is phosphoric acid group is found in DNA or even in RNA also. Okay. So both of the molecule, the DNA as well as RNA, both of them, they were regarded as nucleic acids. Both DNA as well as RNA, both of them, they are considered as nucleic acids. Nucleic acids. DNA as well as RNA, they are considered as nucleic acids. Okay, among that, DNA is taken over the major function of the controlling of character. Hence, DNA is regarded as a genetic material. DNA is regarded as a genetic material because this takes a major function of transferring of characters, and this is regarded as genetic material, that is mainly because it consists of coded information. It consists of coded information. Coded information means it contains the information for many proteins. Okay, it contains information for proteins, for specific proteins, and then proteins will in turn they will express as a character, in turn they will regulate the character. Okay, so it is nothing but the gene will produces the protein by which the trait or phenotype is expressed. The gene that produces a protein by which the trait or the phenotype is expressed. So you know that the gene is nothing but a segment of DNA. It consists of definite nucleotides, means the monomers of DNA. So where it codes for a protein. It means there is an information found in the DNA in the form of nucleotides like this. In the form of nucleotides, the information which is found in the DNA like A, G, C, T, A like this, or whatever it may be, G, C like this, the information is found in the DNA in the form of nucleotides, means the monomers of DNA in the form of codons, that is at the group of 3. Okay, so each will specifies an amino acid, so that I have explained in while explaining sickle cell anemia, isn't it? So where each the pair of 3 that will specifies an amino acid. Similarly, amino acids are combined together forming a protein. So by protein, where a trait or a character that will be expressed. So a gene means the segment of DNA consists of definite number of nucleotides that codes for a protein. It means it transfers its information for the synthesis of a protein molecule to an mRNA. Means the gene will produce an mRNA. It means it codes for its message to an mRNA. Then mRNA that will carry the message. That's why it is named as messenger RNA. It will carry the message for the synthesis of a specific protein. Then the protein, by that the trait or the characters that will be expressed, that is through the proteins. But behind this trait or the character, the major molecule, the master molecule, that is DNA. This is the macromolecule, the master. It is the master that controls all the traits, or it expresses all the characters through the proteins, and it sends a message through the mRNA for the synthesis of proteins. Thereby, the specific proteins which are synthesized are produced in the cell. Okay, hence this is the major one, that is DNA. That's why it is regarded as a genetic material, as it controls the inheritable characters. Okay, hence regarded as genetic material. Then it stores information in the form of codes. The DNA that stores enormous information, that is in the form of code. So codes are nothing but that is the group of nucleotides, where a pair of 3 nucleotides that forms a codon. So where that will specifies as an amino acid. Amino acids ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿದಾಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಬಂದು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಇರೋದು ಡಿಎನ್ಎ ನಲ್ಲಿ. Means to construct a protein, the DNA that is having the information, what are the types of proteins should be synthesized, and what is the number of amino acids should be there in that, and what amino acid should be specified, those informations which occurs in the DNA, informations iradalli DNA. That's why it is regarded as a master molecule. Okay, so then let us look into the structure. This is no doubt, this is a genetic material in almost all 99.9% of the organisms, but whereas few exceptions like RNA viruses, where RNA is a genetic material. Okay, so let us look into the chemical structure or chemical composition of DNA. Okay, see, DNA is mainly composed of 3 components. One is a pentose sugar. It is mainly composed of 3 components. One is pentose sugar. Then the another one is nitrogen base. The next one is nitrogen base, and the other one is phosphate. A pentose sugar, a nitrogen base, and phosphate group. So these are the 3 major components found in the DNA. Chemically, DNA as well as RNA also, chemically it is composed of pentose sugar, means a 5 carbon sugar, then a nitrogen base and a phosphate group. Okay, so the first one, let us look into the first one, the pentose sugar. See, in DNA, a major sugar that is found in the DNA, that is deoxyribose sugar. Both DNA as well as RNA, they are composed of a pentose sugar. Okay, ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೂ pentose sugar ಇರುತ್ತೆ, but DNA ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ pentose sugar ನ ನಾವು deoxyribose sugar ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. That's why DNA is regarded as deoxyribonucleic acid. So here the sugar present is deoxyribose sugar. So where this is a pentose sugar, it consists of an oxygen atom forming a pentose ring like this, okay. So where it consists of groups like H, OH, then H, similarly CH2OH and H, okay. So you can see like this H, OH, R means the inner side also ring. See, this is a pentose sugar, that is deoxyribose sugar, where 5 carbons can be seen here, 1, 2, then 3, 4, and this one is a 5. 5 carbons can be seen here. So this is regarded as deoxyribose. Deoxy. See, D means removal. Oxy means oxygen. Here you observe in this one where the sugar, the oxygen present at the second carbon atom in the ribose sugar, that is eliminated, that is okay. Here in case of ribose sugar, the second oxygen atom that is found at the second carbon atom, the oxygen means the OH group, in the OH group, hydroxyl group, the oxygen on the second carbon atom, that is eliminated in DNA, that was removed in DNA. That's why this sugar is regarded as deoxy. D means removal. Deoxyribose sugar. So where the oxygen found here, that is eliminated. Usually oxygen is found in the ribose sugar. In the ribose RNA, it is regarded as ribonucleic acid, isn't it? In the ribose sugar, there is an oxygen at the second carbon atom. But whereas in case of deoxyribose sugar, the oxygen that is removed. So thereby, it becomes deoxyribose sugar. The purpose why the oxygen has been eliminated here, see, you know that oxygen is readily reacting, isn't it? So by the absence of oxygen at the second carbon atom on the DNA, where it makes the DNA chemically more stable, chemically less reactive. The DNA will be chemically less reactive when compared to RNA, and structurally it is more stable. Okay, structurally DNA will be more stable. So as there is no oxygen here, this is chemically, when compared to RNA, this is chemically less reactive, but structurally more stable. But RNA, structurally less stable, chemically more reactive, because of the presence of oxygen in ribose sugar, that is in ribonucleic acid in RNA. But whereas here, because of the absence of oxygen, so DNA, that is chemically more stable and chemically less reactive and structurally more stable. Okay, so this is a pentose sugar that is found in the DNA, that is deoxyribose sugar. Okay, then the next component is nitrogen bases. See, there are a group of 2 nitrogenous bases which are found in the DNA. One is the nitrogenous bases which are found in the DNA, nitrogen bases. One is pyrimidines, another one is purines. One is pyrimidine, another one is purines. Okay, there are 2 nitrogen bases can be seen here. One is a pyrimidine, another one is a purine. Okay, so the first one is pyrimidine. Nitrogen bases means they are nothing but the heterocyclic compounds which mainly consist of nitrogen. The heterocyclic compounds which are mainly composed of nitrogen, so they are called as nitrogen bases which are found in the DNA. There are 2 categories or 2 groups or 2 kinds of nitrogen bases were observed in the DNA as well as in the RNA. That is, one is pyrimidine, another one is purine. Okay, so the first one is pyrimidine. Pyrimidines are the single ringed nitrogen bases. Pyrimidines are the single ringed nitrogen or single ringed heterocyclic compounds with a nitrogen. They are the single ringed heterocyclic compounds with the nitrogen. They are the pyrimidines. They consist of single heterocyclic ring. Okay, so mainly the pyrimidines are, you should remember this, the pyrimidines are, there are 2 pyrimidines are observed here. One is cytosine, another one is thymine. There are 2 pyrimidines can be seen here. One is cytosine, another one is thymine. Cytosine and thymine are pyrimidines which are found in DNA. Similarly, uracil is also another pyrimidine. Uracil is also another pyrimidine that is found in RNA. Uracil is another pyrimidine that is found in RNA, whereas thymine and cytosine, they are the pyrimidines which are found in DNA. But whereas in RNA, instead of thymine, uracil is present. It means in RNA, thymine is replaced by uracil. Whereas in DNA, uracil is not present. DNA consists of cytosine and thymine, whereas RNA consists of cytosine and uracil, where thymine is replaced by uracil in RNA. So, but all the three, cytosine, thymine and uracil, they are regarded as pyrimidines. Okay, they are single ring heterocyclic compounds. Whereas on the other hand, purines are the double ring heterocyclic compounds. Purines are double ring. Purines are double ring heterocyclic compounds. So where this is a purine, this is a purine. So where it consists of two rings. So a pyrimidine ring along with plus another ring called as imidazole ring. A pyrimidine along with an imidazole ring where it becomes a purine. Purine is a double ring heterocyclic compound. A pyrimidine along with an imidazole ring, so that is considered as a purine. Pyrimidine plus another additional ring where it forms two rings, that is what is called as a purine. Purines are double ring heterocyclic compounds. Okay, majorly the purines are adenine and guanine. Purines are adenine and guanine, they are the purines. Cytosine, thymine and uracil are the pyrimidines, whereas uracil is found in RNA, it is absent in DNA, but whereas in case of the DNA, only thymine is present, but whereas in RNA, thymine is replaced by uracil. Okay, but the purines are common in both DNA as well as in RNA. The purines are double ring heterocyclic compounds, so where adenine and guanine, they are the purines. Okay, so this is about the nitrogenous bases. Then the pentose, the phosphate group, this is another chemical component that is found in the DNA. So we have completed the sugar, a pentose sugar, then nitrogen bases and the phosphate group. Okay, that is H3PO4. This is a phosphate group that is found in the DNA, and this phosphate group, like this, if this is a deoxyribose sugar, where here it joins a nitrogen base, whatever it may be, whether it is purine or pyrimidine or it may be adenine or guanine or cytosine or thymine, whatever it may be, nitrogen base, along with that a phosphate, that is H3PO4. A phosphate group is added here. Along with this, a phosphate group is added here. Okay, see the phosphate, that is H3PO4 or the phosphate group, that adds usually at the fifth carbon, it joins to the fifth carbon of one of the deoxyribose sugar and the third carbon of the another deoxyribose sugar. It joins to fifth carbon of one of the because the two sugars and the nucleotides, they get joined each other. That's why here phosphate group get joined to fifth carbon of one of the deoxyribose sugar and it get joined to third carbon of another deoxyribose sugar. So one sugar means ಎರಡು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಜೊತೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆದಾಗ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೇ ತರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ ಜೊತೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆದಾಗ ಫಾಸ್ಫೇಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ H3PO4. There, here it joins to fifth carbon of one of the sugar and third carbon of the another sugar. That's why the DNA that consists of two ends, one is a 5' end, another one is a 3' end. There are two orientations can be seen, two ends can be seen in the DNA. One is a 5' end, another one is a 3' end. That is mainly because of the joining of the phosphate group to the fifth carbon of one of the sugar and the third carbon of another sugar. So where the fifth end of the 5' end of the DNA that ends with a phosphate, that is PO3. Okay, that ends with the phosphate, PO4 minus, that ends with the phosphate. Okay, so whereas the third carbon that ends with the OH, the third group that ends with the OH. There are two ends will be produced, that is based on the attachment of the phosphate to the deoxyribose sugar. On one hand, the phosphate group attaches to the fifth carbon of one of the sugar and third carbon of the another sugar. So thereby it forms two ends. One is a 3' end, another one is a 5' end. The 3' end ends with the OH. Always in DNA, the 3' end that ends with the OH is hydroxyl group, and the 5' end that ends with the phosphate. Okay, that is PO3 minus 1. Okay, so this is a phosphate group that found attached to the deoxyribose sugar by means of phosphoester bonds. Phosphoester bonds. phosphoester bond. So this is a bond that is found between the phosphate sugar and the phosphate group and the deoxyribose sugar, that is phosphoester bond, the bond between the phosphate and the deoxyribose sugar. Okay. Similarly, the bond between the deoxyribose sugar and the nitrogen base is glycosidic bond, N-glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bond. This is a bond that is found between the nitrogen base and the sugar is glycosidic bond. The bond between the sugar and the phosphate group is phosphoester bonds. So the bond between the nitrogen base and the sugar is glycosidic bond. Okay. So these are the three major components which are found in the DNA, the chemical components, that is pentose sugar, then the nitrogen bases, then the phosphate group. Okay. So then look into the terms like nucleoside, nucleotide and polynucleotide. Nucleoside, these are very important, you remember this. Nucleoside, then nucleotide, only one letter difference here, S and T, nucleotide, and polynucleotide, polynucleotide. Okay, see here, nucleoside is nothing but it is a combination of pentose sugar, that is deoxyribose sugar, pentose sugar, that is deoxyribose sugar, pentose sugar plus nitrogen base. It is a combination of pentose sugar plus nitrogen base. What is a nucleoside? A nucleoside is a combination of pentose sugar, that is deoxyribose sugar, or pentose sugar, that is ribose sugar in RNA, deoxyribose sugar plus nitrogen base. It is said to be a nucleoside. Okay, combination of pentose sugar means deoxyribose sugar plus nitrogen base is said to be nucleoside. I said the bond between the pentose sugar and the nitrogen base is glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bond. This is a bond found between the sugar and the nitrogen base, glycosidic bond. Okay. So then, what is a nucleotide? A nucleotide is equal to a nucleoside plus phosphate. A nucleoside plus phosphate group. A nucleoside along with the phosphate, it is said to be a nucleotide. For example, like AMP, that is adenosine monophosphate. Like CMP, that is cytosine monophosphate. Like GMP, guanosine monophosphate. Like TMP, thymidine monophosphate. Like this. So AMP, CMP, GMP and TMP, all of them they are considered as nucleotide. So when only adenine and only sugar is present, it means only nitrogenous base and sugar is present, that is considered as a nucleoside. The combination of sugar plus nitrogen base is nucleoside, but the combination of nucleoside plus phosphate, when phosphate is added to this one, combination of nucleoside and phosphate, it is regarded as a nucleotide. Okay, there are 4 nucleotides were observed in DNA, that is A, G, C, T, that is adenosine monophosphate, guanosine monophosphate, cytosine monophosphate and thymidine monophosphate. So they are the nucleotides of DNA, means they are the monomers of DNA. The bond between the sugar and the phosphate, I said, that is phosphoester bonds. Phosphoester bond. So this is a bond between the sugar and the phosphate group, phosphoester bond. Okay, and the bond between one nucleotide and another nucleotide. See, the nucleotides, they get joined each other. Between the two nucleotides, the bond between the two, I think you know what is a nucleotide now. The combination of nucleoside plus phosphate is said to be a nucleotide. The bond between the two nucleotides, it is phosphodiester bond. The bond between them is phosphodiester bonds. The bond between the two nucleotides is regarded as phosphodiester bonds. Phospho-di means two, ester bonds. So the bond between the phosphate and the sugar is phosphoester bond, and the bond between the two nucleotides is phosphodiester bond. Okay. Then you can tell what is a polynucleotide. Polynucleotide. See, this is very easy. Now, poly means many, isn't it? Then nucleotide, the combination of nitrogen base and the phosphate, it is what is called as a nucleotide. The nucleoside plus phosphate is called as a nucleotide. then polynucleotide is nothing but poly means many. Many nucleotides when they get joined each other, that forming a long chain. The nucleotides they get joined each other, they get bonded each other and forming a long chain. That is, a long chain of nucleotide is what is called as a polynucleotide. A long chain of many number of nucleotide is considered as a polynucleotide. So where many number of, I will write the short form like NT, that is nucleotide, NT that is nucleotide plus nucleotide plus nucleotide plus nucleotide. This, the long chain of many number of nucleotide is considered as a polynucleotide. That is nothing but the DNA or the RNA. A DNA is a long chain of nucleotides. It is a polymer of nucleotide. It is a polynucleotide chain. A DNA is a polynucleotide chain. Poly means many. When many number of nucleotides get joined each other, that is what is called as a polynucleotide chain. It may be DNA or it may be RNA. Okay, so see here the nucleotide, the bond between the two nucleotide is phosphodiester bond. You just remember the bonds. The bond between the sugar and the nitrogen base is glycosidic bond, and the bond between the sugar and the phosphate group is phosphoester bond, and the bond between the nucleotides, the two nucleotide is phosphodiester bond. And what is a DNA? A DNA is a polymer of nucleotides, or a DNA is a polynucleotide chain of nucleotides. Okay, so that is what is regarded as it. Okay, so in this class you studied about what is DNA, why it is considered as genetic material, who discovered this one. So then what is the chemical components of DNA, so that you have studied in this class. Okay, in the next video I'll make out about the discovery of the genetic material and about the structure of DNA. Okay.